You do want to start YouTube, you don't need a camera specifically. I just wanted a camera just because everybody was getting a camera. Welcome to my channel. For those who don't know me, hi, my name is Angelica. I'm a part-time ER nurse and a first-time mom. And today we're going to be talking about my camera and how I ended up choosing this specific camera for YouTube. Now, while I was wanting to start YouTube, there were two cameras I was eyeing. It was this current one, which is the Sony ZV-E10, and the Canon G7X Mark II. Now, the Canon Mark II is the most common one. Everybody's using the Mark II, etc., etc. But the reason I chose this Sony one is because I was watching a lot of people. I was watching my friends who vlog. I was watching a bunch of YouTubers trying to see what camera they were using, and obviously everyone is using the Canon G7X. I ended up choosing the Sony ZV-E10 because one of my favorite YouTubers, her name is Alyssa Lenore. I will link her down below, and I will also link the video down below. Basically, Alyssa went to a Sony camp, and I think they were using this camera for the entire camp weekend or week, and she was talking about this specific camera, and that one video sold me on this camera. I wasn't really looking at specs for both cameras. I just wanted something that would film and take pictures. Obviously everyone posts their Canon G7X pictures and they are nice, and then Sony, you can never go wrong with a Sony camera. One thing that did draw me to this specific camera was the fact that I could change the lens. When I was at Best Buy and I wanted to buy this camera, I noticed that there was a package where if you buy this specific lens and this camera, that it was X amount of dollars, and so I ended up buying that package. I still haven't used the big lens it came with, but the fact that I was able to change lenses was the reason why this camera was sold to me. In regards to the Canon G7X, everyone does say that the Mark II is the one you want to buy. I know those are out of production and it's only the Mark IIIs out on the market, but the camera and speaker quality apparently between the two are a lot different. The problem is with the Mark II, you do have to buy it at a resale price, and those can cost like an arm and a leg. At the time I bought this camera with the other lens, it was about 1,200-ish Canadian dollars, which is around, if you look at the conversion, which is around 800 US dollars. I highly recommend looking not just at the Canon G7X camera, but other cameras out there. There's definitely a lot better cameras out there than even just my own personal camera, but it's also about your personal need. I'm just a beginner here on YouTube. I don't really expect to do much other than point and shoot. I was looking at when it came to this camera was, if I don't do YouTube, what can I do with it? And the one thing I do with it is take pictures. I went to the Philippines recently and I was able to take a bunch of nice photos. I went to Europe, I got nice photos from there too using this camera. So overall, if you want a good camera just to take pictures on, you either have this one or the Canon G7X. So yeah. If you do want to start vlogging, whether on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, wherever you want to start uploading, you do not need a fancy schmancy camera. The reason I personally wanted a camera was because everyone was getting a camera at the time, so I wanted one just to fit in. If you want to start YouTube, you don't need this fancy schmancy camera. I had a roommate who would film with her iPhone 14 with the back cameras, and that's how she filmed her college vlogs. One of my best friends films really good recap videos of her travel and stuff like that. So she would also film with her camera, filming on her phone on the landscape way, and I would just do the same thing as her. In regards to editing, I know everybody on YouTube uses Final Cut Pro, but Final Cut Pro can be very expensive to an ordinary person. Two apps I really recommend is VN, which is Video Now. I use that for my TikToks and Instagram Reels and sometimes YouTube videos. I also recommend CapCut. I know a lot of girls who use CapCut to edit their YouTube videos. And if you have an iPhone, there's the good old iMovie as well. I very firmly believe in bringing YouTube back. I know everyone's focused on TikTok and Instagram Reels, but I really love old-fashioned YouTube videos and long videos in general, and it can be hard finding new YouTubers to watch and binge on. So yeah, hopefully there's more people out there who start filming again.